Good morning. Good. I just finished my morning pages. What are you up to?
Like almost 6 now, so I'm preparing for another meeting. And I just worked at a cafe for maybe 2 hours because it's actually super sunny now. Show you my walking view.
Whoa, it's so nice. Nice.
Summer's coming.
Summer's coming. I just wanted to ask, I'm working on a list of things that I'm working on, but I wanted to ask what your favorite cafe is in Berlin.
I have a lot. Am I gonna gatekeep it? I'll probably recommend 1 or 2. But right now it's Coffee Circle. But today I tried a different one. It's called Acid. And the branding is really nice. I feel like you'll like it. But yeah, good question. I should be thinking of my favorites, honestly, now that it's like mid-year.
Yeah. Wait, what are your mid-year favorites?
I don't know. Let me think about it. What are yours?
Oh, we'll see. Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be talking about my mid-year favorites. So I think in the past I've always done videos about stationery favorites, mid-year, 𝚋𝚘𝚘𝚔 catch-up, but I hate to break it to you, there's nothing really much that has changed since I started using my journals and planners this year, so I will definitely do like a flip through at one of these days in a future video. But today I wanted to talk about other things that I love that I think not only fuel my creative process but really add a lot of efficiency, productivity, a lot of good vibes, I guess, because while I was compiling my favorites, which are now on my desk, they're all yellow. Are we surprised? We're not surprised. We're not surprised it's yellow. Just by chance it's all yellow. I think it's the summer energy finally creeping up to me. Anyway, if you're new here and you're like, who is this person? Hi, I'm Abby. I'm an artist, author, and creator. I currently live in Berlin and I create content centered around journaling and documenting your life and travels. I also teach workshops, which I'll share more about later in this video. And just to tell you, this video is in collaboration with my good friend Job, so he also has his mid-year favorites on his channel. Make sure to check that out. And this video is brought to you by Squarespace. More on that later. I got my list, made sure I checked it twice, but the first one is actually something that I look at every single day. It is my 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 calendar. This month it is in yellow. This is the 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 calendar. I got this sometime in November, December last year. I ordered it online at the 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 shop. Every month is just really a gem in terms of colorway. I love the artwork. So this is the week number. And it's a Monday start, which is something I really am looking for when it comes to a calendar. It's also not too big and not too plain. It's just the right balance of being able to see all the dates immediately. We all have our favorite totes. I think in the latter part of Q2, my favorite has been, shout out to my Daunt Books bag that I got from London, because that is roomy AF. However, I think in terms of how frequently I've been using a tote, I would like to give a shout out to my Vincent tote bag. So I got this tote bag from Fondation Van Gogh in Arles. I went there last November. It was a little pilgrimage to see how Vincent van Gogh lived in Arles before, and also a lot of his masterpieces were derived from living in that specific city in the south of France. The sentimental value of it for me is I took this around every single life admin thing I had to do this year so far. So this was the bag that I brought with me to put my documents, to renew my residence permit in Berlin, to several apartment viewings, up to signing my contract, to bringing documents to the UK visa office. I think that in itself gives it a little bit more of a reason why it's my favorite, not particularly just the design. The pop of color also does add a lot to my outfits, which I think is great because most of the time I just wear very plain clothes. On the topic of clothing, my next favorite, which I don't really talk about how I dress up in general. I tend to be very easygoing with how I dress. Like, wearing something like this is already like a big deal because it's printed, but I have been really loving the Everlane barrel pant. So Everlane is a brand from the US. Every time I go to the US, I only go to my trifecta. Is it three? Yeah, three. Trifecta of brands. Glossier, Madewell, and Everlane. So this year, Everlane gets a special spot in the favorite section because I now own three pairs of their barrel pant. It's a utility barrel pant. I finally bit the bullet and got a denim one. I don't wear denim, but for some reason, ever since I got this pair, I just wear it all the time. And it has been my go-to workshops uniform. Like, I'll wear a t-shirt, I'll wear the barrel pant, the denim barrel pant, and then I'll put on my Hedley and Bennett apron, and I think it just does the job. It's very simple, straightforward. I also don't like to dress uncomfortably when I'm teaching, so this is gonna be a mainstay in my rotation, and I'm definitely gonna bring it in future workshops as well. I have recently been in a cap phase because growing up, I always felt like my head was too big for caps, and I don't know, I felt like, oh yeah, I never looked good in caps until I started buying caps and I started wearing the ones I liked, color-wise, design-wise, and the one that I've been wearing the most frequent so far since I got it is this cap. It's the A24 cap. Give you a closer look. So A24 is a film distribution company. I have to Google that and check if it's correct. But they make movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once, Midsommar, Lady Bird, I believe is also A24. You all know, apart from a journaling girly, I really am a film girly at heart. Like, I am a cinephile. Like, talk movies to me and we'll get along and talk nonstop. I really love good movies, and I'm a huge fan of A24, but that's a bit condescending because when I say huge fan, it's not like I'm obsessed with every single movie they make. I respect their brand, I love their brand, and I'm the type of person who likes to rep brands that I really like, but also in a subtle way. And I feel like, also, side note, A24's logo is really nice. So I have a thing, as a designer, I think there's something to be said about, like, if something looks visually appealing, I was like, I would love that on merch. So I am one of those people. That's also why I got this, because it was in this particular olive color that I really love. So on the topic of my trifecta, as I mentioned earlier, of course we're going to be adding Glossier in this favorites list. So this is the Glossier You Do. Wow, this looks like a makeup vlog. I've been using the regular, like, Glossier You original one, which is like pink and red, and I really love that scent. This one has other undertones. It had a very earthy, woody scent that really appealed to me, so I decided to try it out. So I bought this in London. I recently appreciated the fact that an outfit, or like dressing up and heading out, is never complete without a scent. And I don't know, I love that idea because it just adds another layer of, like, visually, but also if you smell good, I think you just feel good. So yeah, I feel like I'm really turning into an adult by saying this, but we love a good perfume. Before we continue, this video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform designed to help you start your business and succeed online. Squarespace has a variety of tools you will need to not only start your business, but if you're in the thick of it and you want to continue to scale up or grow your business, you're in the right place. I personally have been using Squarespace as someone who has their website hosted on Squarespace. What I love is the different ways that you can customize the pages, as well as build your own product line. I am in the middle of working on my SF Pen Show signups. So with Squarespace, it's just seamless to be able to add the product and figure out the logistics from writing the description. And if you would like to customize your pages further, Squarespace has a great drag and drop feature, and you can simply organize it visually as you see fit. I also love that Squarespace has an invoicing feature, so if you're working as a freelance designer, it's a great way to submit this to your client so that you have an easier and more seamless way to get paid. Head to squarespace.com/AbbeySy to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay, let's talk a bit more about desk-related stuff. The first thing being, I love a good cup of coffee every morning, and that's to say I really appreciate ceramics and really well-designed mugs so I can put my coffee in that vessel. I don't know if it's a mug actually because it doesn't have handles, but this is from Studio Arhoy. They are a company based in Denmark. I randomly was walking along Copenhagen last year, like in the shopping area, and I saw this really nice logo. I was like, what is this? I went inside, I saw really, really lovely ceramics. I just love the pop of yellow on my desk, and it holds a lot of liquid. So actually it's either I use this for coffee. Initially I was gonna buy it for tea, but now it's like whatever I feel like drinking, coffee or tea. I also like that it's a bit scary though, but you'll see that the bottom part is a bit more narrow. But I want you to take some time to appreciate the glazing, I guess, because also it's not glossy. I'm not saying I don't like the glossy, but I think the matte has a lot of like rustic feel to it. Something that I always bring in my bag when I'm working outside. So I try to work outside maybe once or twice a week. Sometimes a friend will be like, let's go co-work, let's meet at a cafe. I'm like, okay. Every time that happens, I surprisingly just bring my Penco pen case everywhere. So this Penco pen case is something that me and Joe bought at the same time last year. I do have a couple of things here. Special mention, I don't know if it's my favorite yet, so I'm just gonna mention it. So this is a platinum artwork pen and extra fine. It has platinum carbon ink. I really love this. My only comment is the pen body is really, really long, but it's been something I've been using constantly with drawing, with writing. For some reason, I just love the nib feel of it. It's not even, I feel like it's more entry level, but I think it pretty much does the job, so I'm really happy with it. More often than not, there will be an Apple Pencil here because I need it for drawing, and I don't trust that I could just attach the Apple Pencil to the iPad. Other things I put here, memory cards if I'm editing a video, some kind of small pin, plug, clip, or just pens. Consider this as me being like, I want to say in grade school or in high school, where everyone had those like really cute pencil cases, right? So I don't know, I love a good hard pencil case. So when I'm traveling, I try to bring at least 3 pens, and I think this year so far, the one that's been traveling the most is this pen. This is the Yoseka home pen that I got in New York last summer. So when I first got my Sailor Manu Nuts pen, this was the first time I went to the SF Pen Show in 2022. And then this one, I got this at the New York Stationery Fest, not exactly during that duration, but the weekend after. I currently have the medium fine nib, and I think it's one of my most expensive pens, but I realize now that I think it also is because of the build of the pen. It's one of those pens that like when you write, it just feels like, oh wow, I'm writing with a fountain pen. And that's something I've been really trying to instill more in the experience of journaling. Like personally, that's my philosophy as to how I go about it. Obviously, you don't need a fancy fountain pen to get started, but just using a fountain pen has really elevated my writing experience and the habit of documenting daily. I definitely think my favorite that I didn't plan on buying last Christmas but ended up buying is the iPad mini. So this is the iPad mini 7. My only comment is the pencil that you use for the iPad mini 7 is not the same as the pencil you use for the iPad Pro. That being said, I do have an iPad Pro. It's like 6 years old and I still use it, but I have to have different pencils, which is crazy to me. So I think by default, the pencil that goes into this Penco pen case is for the iPad mini. Because the reason I wanted to get this was I do a lot of lettering on Procreate, and then I upload it as part of my videos and short form content. The iPad Pro is a huge device to bring with me every time I'm traveling. So I usually bring that one and my MacBook Pro, which are both heavy. So I feel bad for my back, basically. I would say the iPad mini is great for someone like me who's also a content creator, because I do a lot of my content work here, especially when I'm on the go. Actually, it's the same color, but with my Leuchtturm and my other items, it just fits very, very well in whichever tote I bring. This is my media contribution to my favorites. I had a hard time picking because I think so far, movie-wise, TV-wise, I didn't have any hyperfixation on anything this year. So my hyperfixation for the entire first half of the year, are we all surprised? It's actually Hamilton. So I am a late bloomer in the theater world. I'm not a theater kid. So when my siblings and my cousin started to sing Hamilton songs in Japan, like in 2023 while we were on holiday, I got so into it. It's so funny. And then I found out that Lin-Manuel Miranda is a Capricorn like me. Also Hamilton's a Capricorn. So I don't know, I just felt the connection. TLDR, I just listened to Hamilton a lot. And for some reason, this year, I think it heightened more because we watched Hamilton in the West End last May in London. Actually, the past week, I was really, really busy and super stressed out. And usually when that happens, I don't have a headspace to try new music or try to listen to watch new things. So I've just been kind of stuck in this rabbit hole of watching interviews and performances. That being said, I also really love the Hamilton performance at the Tonys. I don't know, something about the music, the way it was made. I mean, sometimes you just like something because you do, and I think that's how I feel about Hamilton. I'm a huge Hamilton fan, so I think to cap off the favorites, we're gonna just put it there, and that's gonna be my 10th favorite, Hamilton. Yeah, so those are my mid-year favorites. Make sure to check out Job's over at his channel, Job's Journal. I do hope you enjoy these types of videos. Sometimes I just like to veer away from talking all about journaling, stationery, and share with you everything else that kind of makes up my creative life and how it fuels everything, because I want to say everything is connected. I know these are just things, but what I see on a regular basis, how I set up my desk, how I put things together on a page is really influenced by the outside things that I experience externally. And I think they all contribute to my creative process as a whole. Thank you once again to Squarespace for partnering with me on this video. And in case you missed it, the SF Pen Show workshops are now live on my website, which is hosted by Squarespace. So this year I also made it a bit more easier to navigate, where it's like a product and you buy it as a digital ticket. So if you'd like to know more about the SF Pen Show, I'll also link more information down below. I really am very ambitious this year with what I'm putting out for the SF Pen Show. So there will be lots of activities as part of the workshop in itself, and I'm really excited to be going back, as it's my 3rd year teaching in the San Francisco International Pen Show. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care everyone, always be creating, and I'll see you soon. Bye!